Hey, yo, Deranged Maiden Fae, my hair is different once again today. Sorry, last time you guys saw me, I had blonde in the front and brown in the back. And you know something? Also, I got the shaves. And you know something? That hair was more than half the price, less than half the price of this. And they didn't even charge me the shaves. It's just like, if you want to dye your whole entire head black, it's going to cost you a shit ton of money. So that means it's not changing for a while. And the reason why I dyed it all black was to look more professional, because, you know, places like McDonald's and Starbucks require you to have one hair color and normal hair color. No purple, no green, no blah 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 blah. And I don't know how they would have felt about the blonde and the brown, but just as a precaution, I dyed it black. Because black looks great on me. Are you kidding me? I look great with dark hair. I look great with red hair too. I look good. I actually can pull off most hair colors. But darker colors are kind of more of my style, if you get what I mean. And I plan on soon, even though I'm all like, look professional, because I'm doing babysitting, and when I had the brown and blonde, I don't think the parents really said or cared much about me having the blonde and brown. Like, my profile pictures me with my black hair, but my video, I had the two-tone hair, and so no one really gave a shit. And I think they kind of are aware that most teenagers or college students or whatever, they're going to have crazy hair. So I don't think the current mom I'm working for is going to care. When I do it, I'm not going to do it anytime soon. I haven't even got my first paycheck yet. But when I do it, I'm going to do I'm going to do streak. I'm so thrown off because it's not mirrored. It's not mirrored. It's throwing me off. I'm going to do a streak in my hair, and I'll probably do teal, because teal looks good on me. But it's just going to be a little streak in the front, with the bangs and on the side. But that is not important, and that is completely besides the point of what I was going to talk to you about. I've had really, really bad concerns, big concerns, about having ADHD, or ADD, whatever you want to fucking call it. My psychiatrist says the official term is ADHD, and ADD is kind of the abandoned term. People are like, oh, I thought those were two different things. I'm just quoting what my psychiatrist said. And I guess maybe you can kind of see why, because this is not me acting. This is me. This is me being me. Fuck! I have turrets too now, apparently. No, okay. And I've been having, it's not that, there's nothing wrong if anyone has ADHD. I have friends with ADHD. My sister was recently diagnosed with it. She's taking pills now for it. And I guess that's kind of why I'm concerned, because their symptoms are mine. Same as mine, or similar to mine. Their feelings, their symptoms, blah, 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 their struggles. And I never thought about, and like when I told about this to my therapist, I've never ever once talked about this with my therapist, and I brought it up with her. She was like, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm just curious why you've never ever thought about it before. And I'm like, well, if you look at my family, my sister, who's 21 now, was just diagnosed. 21 years. She even got held back 1 year. And no one ever questioned it. No one ever looked into it. And then me, I had dyslexia, and that's what I thought part of it was. But there's no fucking way. All the struggles I'm having is just dyslexia. Look at my fucking report card, especially from elementary school. F. Here, maybe do a Christopher Tice joke right now. Let's spell out my grades of what's on my thing. There's an A there, there's a B there, but there's mainly F's, D's. There's a lot of C's there too, but mainly F's, and there's a lot of F's and D's there. And then my grades in high school, I tried really hard, but lots of C's, several B's, few A's, 1 or 2 D's. I had to take adult school because I failed half a year of geometry, and I barely passed the other. I failed a class this semester, and because there's only one thing of homework, well, technically there's more, but there was only one thing, technically, and it's a research paper, and we had all semester, we knew from the beginning, I even knew because I took this class before, and I dropped out of it, but didn't do it, too distracted to do it, too not focused, able to do it, failed the class. I barely passed my other psychology class. I was surprised I passed it. I was like, I was going to retake it, but I was like, okay, passed it. Didn't do any of the homework in that either, besides the presentation. This is not me being proud of myself. This is me being very smarky to myself. Like, fuck you. Stop doing this to yourself. But yeah, so I just barely, I passed with a C minus. Like, not even just a C, a C minus. It's barely passing. Maybe he took pity on me. Same teacher, too, for both those psychology classes. And I passed my music class with a B. Now, the last three semesters I had done, 2 semesters, oh wow, I had gotten, like, at least one A, and I got, like, a C, maybe a B, but this time I didn't get any A's. That's okay, I can live with myself. I'm just happy I passed. I mean, I'm not happy with how low the grade is. With abnormal psychology, it's like, it's because I didn't do any homework. I probably could have gotten a much better grade. Also, I'm a shit test taker. I fucking am terrible with test taking. I have a permit now. It took me fucking forever because I got fucking failing the fucking test. But, so it was a long and tiring journey to get a fucking psychiatrist. Because they kept on all being full, except for the one pediatric one. But I'm not under 18. So, I finally got one. Yay! I saw her for the first time yesterday. And she's concerned I have manic depression. That's not saying I might not have ADHD or ADD or whatever you want to fucking call it. I still could possibly have that. Especially with the research I've been doing. And she's like, I think you might have manic depression, because I've told her some things. Like, I've told her how I can get, like, 2 hours of sleep or less. Okay, let's say 4 hours or less of sleep and still be hyperactive. And she's like, that's a sign of mania. That's the symptom of mania. And what I'm happy is that she's the one who brought it up first. I did not think manic depression at all. I did not mean to bring it up. I didn't bring it up at all. She was the one who brought it up. And that makes me happy, because it makes me feel like I'm not self-diagnosing, that that's actually a concern. Because it wasn't just about that, but it was other things too, like how I even fucking drew Narcissia and Dysphorius, and they're basically my self-love and self-hate, and they're both extremes. Like, Narcissus, I named her after Narcissus, but she's just a girl. And then Dysphorius is named after dysphoria, the condition in your mind. There's no, like, story behind it. And he is my self-hate, like, my dysphoria of myself, the dysphoria of my mind, of who I am, and how I act, and what I do, and how I dress, blah, 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 blah. And I haven't told her about that one. I should tell her about that. Like, oh, I'm actually kind of aware of my blah, blah, blah. And that actually makes sense if it's manic depression. Because not all manics, everyone experiences things differently. So some manics, their manic phases are very euphoric. Some are very angry and aggressive and destructive, etc., etc., etc. So I guess, on the sheet thingy they did for the depression and whatnot, I had put, depression, yes, I definitely have self-hate and shit like that, and I have a lot of depression, like, I have a lot of hypersomnia, and I've become more and more aware of that I actually did have. Even in grade school, I would be constantly sleepy. I would get more than enough sleep, and I'd still be tired all the time. I'd be sleeping in class, I'd be sleeping in church, I'd be sleeping on retreats. I would just want to sleep. I didn't want anything else but to sleep. And I even still did that in high school. And I've kind of done that time to time in college a little bit too. And then I can sleep for over 12 hours. I actually had 12 and a half hours of sleep not too long ago. And I can sleep a lot. And I want to sleep. And sometimes I don't want to get out of bed and stuff like that. And then I do get insomnia. I can't get to sleep. I even sung a cover of Colin Hayes' Overkill because I couldn't fucking sleep. Oh yes, and I get irritability a lot. But I do have So going off the self-hate and self-love, sorry. So they had the whole thing about, like, depression, not liking yourself, blah, 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 blah. And then they had having elated, being, like, liking who I am, blah, 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 blah. And I checked high on both. Depressive. And I'm not saying I am manic depressive. I have no diagnosis yet. She's still evaluating my stuff. And then I also did like a sheet thingy for ADHD. I haven't gotten results back from that. But there were, say, it was 0, 1, 2, 3. There were a lot of 3s and 2s. So something tells me, I mean, I'm not saying for sure, but there were a lot. And, like, I was saying, it's no problem if I do have ADD or ADHD. I'm not upset with myself if I have bipolar or anything. It's just so that I know how to help myself. That's why I want to know. That's why I'm desperate, because it is affecting me. It's affecting my life. It's affecting my grades. It's affecting my fucking grades. Like, I failed a class in college, and it was a class that I actually liked and enjoyed. But because I was having struggle with keeping focus and doing shit, I end up failing it. And I'm not saying disorders give you excuse to fuck up your life, but I'm just feel like if I need the outside help, like I need therapy, or I'm not saying this because I want drugs, but if drugs are gonna help me, then I want to do that. I want medication if it's gonna help me. My psychiatrist is saying that if I do have bipolar, the medication for ADHD and depression will bring out more of my manic side and whatnot. And so I guess that's kind of one way of proving if I am manic or not. So I'm starting a thing. Actually, I started a mood journal a long time ago when I first got concerned I had bipolar, but I kind of let go of that concern. I was like, I'm probably wrong, probably way off. And actually, at that time, my mom actually was trying to find me a psychiatrist, which actually makes me really grateful, because, like, I'm not going to get into it. And I hadn't touched it for 2-3 years or so. And so I started again today, and I'm also starting these things called mood charts, and they're basically inspired. So my psychiatrist told me to go look up, like, she wants me to be alert and aware of, like, if I have bipolar, especially manic things. And so she's also told me to tell family and friends or people I'm close with and people I trust and see a lot to be aware and alert of that, and kind of, like, tell them what to look out for and stuff like that. So she told me to go to, like, their center and look up bipolar, but mainly she wanted me to focus on mania. I'm so sorry, I'm getting distracted. It's just really ironic, not ironic, it's just really funny when I'm talking about having, distraction disorders, attention disorders or whatever, and then I lose my attention. I just find that always funny. Or I talk about, like, oh yeah, I'm concerned about this and that and this and that, and, like, one of the symptoms of that I'm concerned of is talkativeness, or just going off and tree branching, and then I fucking tree branch or talk too fucking much while I'm doing it. So you get why I'm concerned. I was talking about mania. So she wanted me to look up stuff, and this I borrowed from the center they have. They have, like, a little library there. And I've actually it's been useful. And apparently my mom had it, and she had a bunch of other, like, psychology books. And she sold all of them. She didn't tell me. Like, she told me about all of her manga and shit, but she didn't tell me about any of these things. And so she sold them. And she still has a few left. So I'm checking this out, and especially if I do turn out to have bipolar, I want to buy this. I'd rather do an ebook, I guess, I don't mind doing a hard copy, but the ebooks are cheaper for one, but then it's also, like, I can copy pages easier, because they have these chart thingies, and actually I want to duplicate some of these charts for my own thing. One in general, I want to, like, for example, of something I want to do. I think I skipped it. And they're basically kind of recording, I think it's after that one. Here we go. So it's like day of the week, mood of that day, -1 to ++3. Check if you followed your activity plan. Oh, that's for an activity plan. But Basically, it's kind of like talking about how much sleep I got, blah, 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 what I ate, what's the weather, what's the, and what's the, actually, it's kind of what my mood journal is already, but in chart format, I suppose you could say. And you probably like, I don't know what your mood journals look like. My mood journals, and if I start doing medication, then I'll put medication things on there, and I'm going to continue them even after. Right now, I'm doing it kind of as a way to look out for it. So, like, I have, like, what's the day, certain emotion and time of the day, weather, what I ate, morning, noon, night snack, if I'm menstruating, because that's important, who I was with, when I was alone, stressors, whatever what might be making me depressed, and contributors that might be making me happy, what I dream about, if I can remember, whatever, sleep, how much I slept, like 2 hours, 5 hours, 12.5 hours, what's the moon phase, am I sick, what I feel right now, if I went on a shopping spree, if I started any project, continue any project, cancel any projects, finish any projects, homework test, and right now the homework test I don't have to worry about until Monday, because I don't start school until Monday. Sorry, I zoned out. But yeah, so I think it's very likely, I'm not saying I do, but I have a feeling that I might have manic depression and that I might have ADHD on top of that, because I was looking at, in here they actually talk about things misdiagnosed with bipolar, or bipolar is misdiagnosed. I think you might have this instead of bipolar, or you might have bipolar instead of one of these. ADHD was the very first one on the list, and all the symptoms, most of the symptoms of ADHD are like the same as mania, are very similar as most of the ones in mania. And so it was saying one way to tell if you have both or don't have both. So, like, if you don't have both, basically the way to tell that is if you don't have those symptoms of distractiveness and blurting outness and blah, 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 while you're depressed. Because actually a symptom of ADHD is depression. So if you don't have that while you're depressed, then you probably don't have ADHD on top of bipolar. I do have those symptoms when I'm depressed. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. And I have, like, actually there's one thing on the thing where it's like, are you either, like, able to, actually I think it might have been both. If you have both, like, you're able to focus very much on one thing and blot out the world, or vice versa, everything's distracting you. That happens to me. I have both. I do. I had no lip. No, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I was getting distracted and I get distracted. Oh, I told you, it's funny. It's funny. It's funny, funny, funny. And it's bothering me because this is uneven. Did I accidentally tuck it back? Ah, I'm being thrown off. No, it's uneven. There's no piece that long on this side. Oh, wait, is there? Go away. Okay, there is. Kind of. Not really, no. So, yeah. That's my little update. I love how I'm deranged Maiden Fae and I decided to wear rat ears instead of my fairy wings. I mean, and actually, I don't think you really see me my fairy wings, like, ever on this channel. You see me made my fairy wings, but you've never, actually, did I ever post that? Perfect example. Oh, that was a nice crack. So I'll be seeing my psychiatrist again the same day, start school actually. So I'll be seeing her in the morning, then going to a class in the afternoon, and then be babysitting. Actually, I started a job! I have a job! I'm getting paid for it and everything too. I get paid once a week. I get paid at the beginning of the week. And I'm babysitting 3 boys. And they, let's say they like fighting. They like violence. They don't understand that violence equals you get hurt, so they try fighting, and then when they get hurt, they're like, ah! And I'm like, yeah, that's why I told you not to hit your brother. One of them's a screamer. He just scream randomly. I mean, the other one can scream too. He's learning from his bigger brother. But one of them is such a screamer, and I'm like, why is that necessary? Hey, Gav, why are you screaming? That's not very necessary. Or he'll, like, overreact kind of screaming, too. But they fight a lot. But they've been better. So the first day, I was with them for twice as long as I normally would because it was a holiday. So on holidays, like, but minor holidays, like MLK. Nothing against you, Martin Luther King. But your holiday ain't no Christmas. But, so basically days where they get school off, but it's not like vacations wide. I'll be working twice as long. I'll be working from like 9 to 6:30 instead of 3 to 6. 30. And so first day they were a bit of a handful. Second day it was fine, and then we got to like the fourth quarter of the night. Hell broke loose. And then the next time, things were going nicely. And like 15 minutes before the mom came home, the youngest one started fights. And I'm like, you were doing so well. And then tonight, they were doing well for the most part. And then there was a disagreement during football, and that was just about it. There wasn't much more other than that little disagreement. So they do better. They've been doing better. The one's a screamer, he throws tantrums so much. I'm just like, you throwing a tantrum doesn't make me want to do something for you. And yesterday, actually, the youngest one, so the day before that, when all hell broke loose, the youngest one at one point kept on telling me he hated me. Or he told me he hated me. And at one point, he's like, stay away from me! Like, angrily, like, I don't like you! And then yesterday, he had said, you're being nice today. And I'm like, I wasn't nice before. And then he's like, probably because, he said, you're being nice today. And I kind of was like, I am? Or something like that. I don't remember what I said. I didn't say that. But he was like, it's because we are, it's because we're not being mean. So I'm like, well, at least you're aware that you were misbehaving. They're cute kids. But they need to stop trying to murder each other every hour. No, I'm kidding. They don't try every hour. But they need to stop arguing and fighting, literally. There's play fighting, and I get that. Like, my boyfriend's like, oh yeah, I used to play fight all the time as a kid. I'm like, they're not play fighting. They're trying to kill each other. Today, the youngest one picked up a rock. Like, a big rock. Like, especially big to a tiny little guy. He's 4 years old. And I'm just like, I want to murder you. I'm like, Cameron, soon. Like, I went inside for like a few seconds, I come out and I see this, and I'm like, just whatever you do, don't throw it. Just let this be an empty threat, because if you throw that, you're seriously going to hurt someone. Although he probably wouldn't get very far and might hurt him instead. But I can think I can handle this. It's like, especially since they've been better now. I think I can handle it, no problem. So that's been your crazy little fuck. So that's been your deranged little update about Maiden Fae. Oh, I think I talked about it. I think a few Thursdays ago when I got broken up with. I don't know if I told. I don't remember if I did or did not tell you, but I got broken up with by the polyamory couple, the triad. But I'm with someone else now, and he makes me so happy and so peaceful, and like I was having a hard time sleeping, and I was just crying. I just started crying, and I was just really stressed and anxious. Miss Katie came to me right away to make me feel better. And it's like 3 in the morning, and he's usually awake really late. So I messaged him like, "Are you awake? If I woke you up, just go back to sleep and ignore this message, because it's like something that can wait." And right away he messaged, or not right away, but he started messaging back soon. And I started typing out this really long message. And so it took me a while, and so he got concerned and he ended up calling me. And I know I've complained in the past about overreacting. Like, my mom was afraid of leaving me home alone because she thought I was going to kill myself. Because she was reading this thing I was doing called Me-sember. And that's on my blog, actually, if you want to look at all my Me-sembers. And I had talked about depression a lot and self-hate a lot. But my very second post was about how I'd never hurt myself or commit suicide, ever. And I had other posts about that, too. I talked about how I have good coping mechanisms, I'm optimistic, shit like that. And she was like, you might kill yourself and stuff. And I'm just like, says the woman who had to make me prove why I was depressed. Like, I was really shocked because when I first was telling her why I was trying to see a psychiatrist, she was like, why do you think you're depressed? I'm like, okay, I gotta prove this now to you, Miss Mac Depressive? Okay, let me see. Sleep schedule, eat schedule, blah, blah, blah. Okay, sorry, I'm getting off topic. Talking about boyfriend. Okay, I was talking about how I was like, I've complained in the past about overreacting, but that was actually a very sweet move to me. It shows that he really cared and whatnot, and so it made me really happy that I did that. I felt bad for scaring him, because I scared him. That's why he called. He was like, holy shit, she's not responding. Is she okay? Is she okay? And, because he's got, or had, ODD, so he's kind of not on par with, like, being social or whatnot, and knowing how to comfort people and stuff like that. But really, I don't need that. I don't need someone who's going to be like, give me advice and shit. I just need someone who will listen and be there for me. And this is a really fucking long video, and I'm so sorry. Maybe that's why my videos are always so long, because I've got ADHD or Mac, whatever you want to say, and so I just keep talking, because I'm just very fucking talkative. You should meet me in real life. You would know. I mean, sometimes I'm just really talkative, or I'm just like, you know. Example. Why I could be bipolar. I am not saying I am bipolar. I'm just saying my doctor thinks I could be, and so I'm looking out for the symptoms. Warning signs. Whatever you want to fucking say. I don't care. So there's that. But yeah, so he's been there for me he's been very patient and understanding and very good with me. I don't think I've ever upsetted him so far. He's not upset me. I was like, I actually mentioned one of my close friends, like, I haven't felt the desire to bitch slap him, which is a good sign. Because I've had that for a lot of people. I've wanted to bitch slap a lot of people. So I haven't had that urge to bitch slap him ever. Yeah, no, I don't think I have. It was actually really cute because he had a crush on me for the entire semester. And I kind of I became aware that I had a crush on him later, like in the middle of the semester or so, and I had told him, like, oh, but it's nothing. I'm in a relationship. I can get over it. You know, people get crushes all the time. And so I'm like, well, I know I just broke up, but after some time has passed, would you maybe want to try going on a date with me, or would you friend zone me? I'll go on a date with you. Actually, I've got a crush on you. Oh. So yeah, he actually has ADHD. He has OCD, ADHD, and ODD, or had ODD. I don't fucking know. When I told my psychiatrist that, she was like, ODD? You gotta talk to me about him later. I'm curious. So I'm gonna stop talking, because this is over 28 minutes long. This is gonna be a half hour long. I am so sorry. This isn't a short little update. This is a big fucking update. This is what should be called Maiden Fae's Longly Deranged Update.